So off word alone, you have no reason to trust an 18-year-old kid like myself on the claim that I make 160K a month in my coaching business. However, here's the proof that in May of 2024, we've done it. And then in the month before, in April 2024, done here. If I check all time on the Stripe account, you can see we've made roughly 570K on the Stripe account, around $600,000. And to this day, this coaching business still runs. We just use a different payment processor named Fanbasis. And you can see here, it actually runs and still books calls. Everything is legit and to this day. Now, I actually want to show you the raw strategies and just the genuine breakdowns of my own brainstormings of how I've actually done this with myself and my business partner. This whole thing starts when I posted this first YouTube video here roughly 2.5 years ago, where I just talk about how as a 16-year-old kid, I started my own marketing agency and I signed my first 2 clients. And around this point, I had actually already scaled my marketing agency to 25K a month. Same thing here with my business partner who had scaled a marketing agency in the gym niche. Well, that's actually myself right there, to 25K a month. And we came together and we decided, let's start posting videos. Let's start talking about what we actually did to scale. Because overall, what the business actually did, and to dive into the breakdown, is we helped marketing agency owners scale. And there was a huge gap in the market because there was this guy that you might know of, maybe not. His name's Iman Gadzhi, and he had brought in an influx of teenage kids very similar to myself at the time who wanted to start this business and make money online. So the point A that we identified for our offer and the person we actually worked with was someone who had no clients. They were making $0 a month with their marketing agency, but they wanted to. They had tried many things in the past, and we had the dream outcome here of 10K a month. They didn't want to make the ridiculous 100K a month, 50K a month that you see people talking about now. They just wanted to get their start. They just wanted to kick off. And one of the things that we learned, which was an invaluable lesson to this business, is you do not need to be the most qualified person in the world to actually go ahead to coach someone and to share what you know. Oftentimes, what you just need to find is a gap in the market. There was a really big gap here because there was nobody that was specifically catering to beginners, sharing them the actual strategies to use. All the beginner content at the time was just talking about mindset or discipline or things of that nature. So we decided, all right, well, let's actually dive in here and let's just show what you need to do. An example of this would be this video here, where I literally just hopped on, as you can see here, just a kid with a random background, just sitting in his room, and decided to show the actual outreach strategies that I had been using at the time to make money with my own marketing agency. That was the gap in the market we had identified. And to start off, what we did is we charged $100 and we sold a product, which was pretty much a Discord server where we help people to kick them off and sign their first client. And then this $100, once they signed their first client, was completely refundable. That was the first offer that we sold to this entire business, and really just how we kicked this thing off. And if I actually show you just some of the raw writings and what I was actually thinking at this time, you can see here that it was a very, very niche community of people. These are kids that were similar to myself. You can see I don't really stick out on this call, nothing particular here. And we just helped, we hopped on, and we shared everything that we learned. Even though we weren't the utmost experts of agencies in the entire world, there are people far more qualified than us. But again, nobody was catering to this gap in the market. Now, showing you how we actually progressed this, because doing and actually only charging $100 per client, we were only able to scale to around 10K a month at the max here. But you can see my partner got a bit more views than me at this actual time. What ended up happening is we were just completely reliant on the YouTube algorithm in order to scale. So we'd have to be creating these videos, and every time that we had a video that didn't perform well, for example, a video like the one I'm showing you right here, 292 views, I would be in an absolute frenzy. It wouldn't be working well. Our business would be falling down. Nothing would be going right in the way we actually had it planned. So what we realized is that we needed to change something up with this business. We had to alter it so it could actually create us cash flow, because making 10K a month relying on the YouTube algorithm and being influencers isn't actually going to work. So this is where we moved into phase 2 of running the business, where we actually went ahead and scaled to around a 20K a month mark, and actually again went to increase our product to around 4.5K to actually do this. So what happened is we were 2 guys still on a Discord server, and we said, all right, let's scratch that and let's build something new. Instead, what we actually decided is our $100 product here initially turned into a 2.5K product. And we decided that, hey, we're going to service a lot less people, but the people we are going to service, we're going to work a lot more hands-on for them, going to actually get them results in the form of an inner circle and in the form of a very tight-knit community where we worked daily one-to-one with these people inside their businesses. So what that actually looked like from a product end is for 2.5K, when someone got started with us, what they'd essentially receive is they would receive 5x weekly inner circle calls. So every single day at around 12 p.m., we'd hop on with the exact same guys every day, hold them accountable, find out what's going on in their business, solve any problems they're dealing with. In addition to this, they'd be getting one-on-ones, I believe, once per week. So we'd hop on with them, and this is myself, my business partner, learn and go really in depth as to what they are actually struggling with. And then in addition to that, we had something that would be evolved a lot more in the future, which is done for you asset creation. So within the business that we were actually teaching, which is how to start a marketing agency, there are certain things that just need to be built. Someone needs to have a sales process that they use. Someone needs to have an outreach script that they use. Someone needs to have a website built for them. And the very start of this for us was actually just templatizing a lot of the things that we had seen work and then giving it to them and showing them how to install it, which would later evolve into a service that we could charge exponentially more money for. So once we had upped our price from $100 to 2.5K, as you can see here, we jumped from around a modest, like 10, 13K a month, all the way to these 100K a month mark here, where pretty much with this entire process of just having a data breakdown of what we show people, having a sales process in check, we were able to hit our first 100K a month in December of 2023. I joke that it's our best Christmas gift ever. And really, I know that's a huge, massive jump in revenue, but it's extremely simple as what we actually did in order to achieve this. So if I go down to the playlist section here, you'll be able to see that there's a series called SMMA Restarting from Scratch. And it was a 6-episode series where pretty much we said, all right, what is the number one thing in our market that people are wanting to hear? What are the number one thing in our market that people are wanting to learn? And the conclusion that we came after time and time again is people just wanted something authentic. They wanted a documentary of someone actually doing what they said they were doing live in real time. So we decided to, with absolutely no basis and actual no traction because we were relying on the YouTube algorithm, shut down the business. We would just keep serving our additional clients. We wouldn't onboard anyone new and actually start our own marketing agency, going back into our ideal market and going ahead to try and find what we actually had initially, which again is a gap in the market that we can use to actually sell and run the business. So the second time we did this, here's the way that it pretty much looked. Instead of targeting people that were at zero, we're targeting people around the 5K a month mark. And we spoke to these people, we had dealt with them on a daily basis, and we actually were them while we were trying to scale this agency right back up. And we realized that the dream outcome they wanted to achieve was around 25K a month. So after we had done this, the pretty well conclusion and how the series went is within 7 weeks, we managed to scale to 36K in cash collected with a completely new agency from scratch, which again, because we had this documentary, proved all of the authenticity, proved everything that we were saying to people at this time, and allowed us to gain a lot of organic traction. Again, no ads had been run up until this point. From that point on, again, using this gap in the market we found, we decided to position the product that we're actually going to sell at a 4.5K price point. What it actually included and the whole way the offer actually worked is we were helping people scale to 25K a month. It was a 90-day period that we were actually going, so 25K a month in 90 days. And in order to actually help them do this, this is when we had the service delivery that would really reshape the way that this business is going to run in the future and even to this day along the lines of what we still do, which is, okay, we are going to help people on a one-to-one basis exclusively, which is something that, again, nobody had done in our market. So working one-on-one with somebody is not just, hey, let's hop on calls, hey, let's do this, hey, let's do that. We decided to take on the core elements of what they actually need to do. So when it came to the ads, we would handle the setup for them. When it came to the cold email or the outreach, we'd handle the setup for them. When it came to running ads for their clients, when it came to the creatives of what they were doing, we decided to fully integrate ourselves into a done-for-you, one-on-one offer to actually achieve this result. And because of that, it was something that hit on all points of the value equation on an extremely strong basis, which are, okay, the dream outcome, the 25K a month, something that we've achieved, the low effort and sacrifice because we were doing it done for you, doing it for them with someone that's already got the results, And then the short timeline is going to be the 90 days that we actually have for these people. And the believability was just the documentary that we had just walked through and showed all of the progress of us actually doing it ourselves with the exact strategies that we're going to actually install for people. And this was the exact strategy we used to hit our first, as you can see here, clicked on the wrong tab, 100K a month right there. And from that point on, things got a little hectic. We had to onboard a bunch of people. We had to get ready to actually scale this business at a real aggressive rate. And I'll give you a little bit more of a breakdown on the strategy, what that looked like. So when you hit your first 100K a month and you're now looking to push forward, the strategy that we had to follow actually almost destroyed our business the first time we tried, which was, well, scaling ads to maintain the revenue that we had made. Because when you get 100K a month off of completely organic traffic, there's a certain amount of views that you need, there's a certain amount of subscribers and organic traction that you need to actually pull that off. And to get that month over month over month over month, now these people continuously want to buy from you is difficult unless you have a really dialed in content team and your brand is continuing to grow, right? Initially, a subscriber was worth around $6, $10 to us. And then in the future, as that scaled up, it would be worth probably $2, $4. So in order to maintain the revenue that we're doing, which is the 100K a month off complete organic, the channel had to keep growing, which is very, very difficult to do consistently month over month over month over month, which means that we made the mistake of just turning on ads and running them to almost a razor thin margin at certain points. However, what we had actually done after that point, which is the way that I believe a coaching business should be run, to focus on profit and not revenue, is we decided, all right, after building a team of 23 people, to cut a lot of that, not because those people weren't valuable, just because the business didn't need it, and focus on the elements that were actually needed to scale, which was A, the involvement of the personal brand and founder, and then also B, a real content strategy that has exponential scale. So this is what we work on today, but here's pretty much how a coaching business scaling works and what we actually work on. So when you run a platform like paid ads and you scale paid ads, it is extremely linear growth, right? You're going to go straight out like this, and as you spend, you make returns. And sometimes you might have a great ad campaign, and it's going to go like this for some time. Sometimes you have a crap ad campaign, it's going to go like this for some times. But generally speaking, it's a pretty linear uptrend of growth. This is a mistake that a lot of people make, and that again we made, which is we thought, okay, well, if we have linear growth on ads, how about we just put all of our money into ads and spike it like this? However, when you incorporate your margin, which I'll consider, which is this line here, your margin runs razor thin on top of the ads as you scale this budget, which means this between amount, you're not actually profiting. It's not a lot of money. You might make 160K a month, 200K a month. We even got up to 250K a month, which I don't even like to talk about in revenue. And you're not going to make any margin off. You're not going to make any profit. You're not actually achieving anything but flexing numbers on the internet for whatever sake and purpose. Now, to show you the actual strategy that we employed is, as you scale your paid ads linear just like this, there's a certain point that you want to say, all right, we're not going to keep increasing our budget month over month over month over month. We're going to flatline it or have a very, very little incline that we actually give it. And what that's going to do is it's going to flatline our revenue and flatline our growth so we can have a certain amount of base revenue that we use just for cash flow purposes. Now, if you do this alone, it's not going to actually benefit you at all because you're just stunting the growth of your business. However, when you look into organic sources, personal brand, and ways to actually exponentially grow your content, this is where you can make the millions that actually can retire you and get you out of a lot of the smoke and mirrors in this space. So as you first start a brand, the way that it pretty well works is you're going to have this spike of doing well, people love you, you're just starting out, you kicked off, you got your first viral video, and then you're going to go into this pretty crappy state here where you have to slowly but surely regain traction, regain traction, regain traction, regain traction, and as you can see, it exponentially picks up and again goes to the moon here. And if we consider the ad spend that we actually have, the margin now begins to exponentially increase as we just spend more and more money. So call this top point here, let's say around 200K a month in revenue. And if we only have a dedicated ad spend of around, let's say 40K in expenses, ad spend, everything included, we're now making 160K a month in profit. But the thing is that if this goes higher and goes to 500K a month or 300K a month, we're still only spending 40 grand because this doesn't cost any additional money to run. It has an exponential rate of return. So when you want to scale to this extremely high mark, This is the actual strategy that you have to employ. And you should only be running ads for the sake of creating cash flow that you can invest into the exponential long-term growth of your brand to actually scale this business and make it something profitable that you can run in the long term. Because if not, you're just going to commit yourself to a game of ad fatigue that doesn't add well. And I work with coaches every single day, so I see the aftermath of this, and it's just not something you want to deal with. You want to build the business so you don't have to stress, and you can actually build it to be something that creates the wealth that you want from it. So that is a raw and honest breakdown of literally every single strategy that we use, the way that we faced our products, and just by posting organic YouTube content, finding gaps in the market, we were able to achieve this. So let me know if you like these more raw value style content. I just want to get a video out today to be transparent, and I hope the value you got from this video is worth the time that you spent, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.